Ding, ding. Welcome back to another episode of the Turnbuckle Times podcast, the long edition, the DQ edition.
Hey, guess who's here?
Oh,
Adam Raymer, baby.
Adam Raymer, baby. He's here. And Adam Cole, baby, is there. I'm just saying.
He is there.
So, on tonight's episode, you guys, we shot it out. So we had to tweak this. I'm not going to lie. We were going to do top 8 tag teams. Started naming them. Realized that's fucking impossible. So we moved it to top 10, which is still really hard.
Yeah.
But we've managed to do it. It's going to be a fun show. If you're on here right now, make sure, please drop it in the comments. Also, as Adam's pointing, please rate, review, subscribe, share, follow. However you consume this podcast, we appreciate it. We love you for it. We're at, I think, is it 76? Are we still stuck?
Fuck, I don't know, man. We can't break the barrier here.
Once we break it, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
We need subscribers. And here's the deal. If you're subscribed and you're listening.
I got to shout out Sage real quick because I love Sage. He said, all I see are goats right now. And if you guys are on Twitter, there's a lot of people you should follow, but Sage is one of them. So you guys, if you're on Twitter, you guys need to go freaking follow him and join his positivity posts and shout outs. If you guys have another podcast, he can help you get followers. He can help you get your retweets that you need, get your exposure. So go shoot him a follow. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt our introduction and our subscribe, but I saw him in here and I wanted to give him a shout out.
No, it's fine. It's fine, man. It's fine.
Thanks, buddy. Because I'm sure I'm going to get heated at you with your bullshit top 10 that you're about to give me.
I'm not. It's not going to be bullshit. It's going to be amazing.
Okay.
So don't judge it till you see it. Listen here. Shut your mouth, Adam.
All right. Anyway, we are stuck at like 76 subscribers. So you guys want to help us out at 100. We're going to do some something. I don't know what kind of giveaway we're going to do. We're going to do something.
We want. So here's the deal, you guys. When we look at this, is we want however you do consume this, we love you for it. Thank you so much. When we started the podcast, if I was talking, it was just me and Adam and 5 other people. That's cool. The numbers come from you guys. If you are subscribed, Justin, I'm looking at you. Noob/Supersonic, I'm looking at you. If you're subscribed, that's fantastic. Go tell a friend and tell them to subscribe. If everybody who's subscribed tells a friend to do it, we double.
Yeah.
Boom. Just doubled my cattle.
Are we quoting the ranch now? Because that's our show.
It may happen.
It may happen. Fuck you, Wilkerson.
Shut your fucking mouth, Lisa. So
anyway.
So
this is gonna be fun tonight, guys, because we do a lot of top 10s, top 5s. We switched the format of our show, however long ago it was. This is like our 4th one. How we were doing our recaps. We do our recaps now throughout the week. By the way, real quick, I want to shout this out too. On our recaps, if you guys watch them or listen to them wherever you guys get your shows, podcasts. I don't necessarily know if we're a podcast anymore. We talked about that too, but we are, but we're not. But Steven covers AEW stuff, which I love AEW, and I cover WWE stuff. But we usually did a Monday. I did a Monday night recap. Steven did a Wednesday. We both did one on Fridays. We're going to switch it up to where I'm going to put one out on Monday nights. It's going to be SmackDown and Raw. And then Steven's going to put one out on Fridays. That's going to cover AEW Dynamite and Rampage. That way, and it's going to be more than 10 at 10 minutes. We still call it our 10 count, but it's probably going to be about 15. We'll try.
It's a WWE 10 count where you wait about 5 seconds and then they start going 1.
Yeah. 2.
3.
You ready to kick this shit off, man? And
yeah, really quickly, I want to do one more thing.
Okay.
Sage, thank you. What Sage has done is what we would love for you guys all to do. Just popped up on my phone. Sage gave not only a shout out because he's on here, Sage also gave a plea basically saying, please go subscribe to these guys. Thank you, Sage. That's what we want everybody to do. Tell a friend because it's just fun. It's literally two idiots talking wrestling.
Yeah, this is just
And-
unfiltered opinions, too, guys. We're not
Since
saying
we
we're
switched
right.
it up, it's so much fun. It's just, and hey, if you're in here, Justin, I know you're in here. I know you'll throw yours together. Pull together your top 10. We're going to discuss y'all's later. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I don't care. I'll go first. Give me a second
Okay.
though, because I wasn't prepared to go first. But go ahead.
You want me to hit my music?
Hit my music, man. All right, people. Number 10. This might be a shocker to some people. But my number 10 is going to be Beer Money. Beer freaking Money. Not even a WWE, AEW, not a tag team there. They were a tag team in TNA/Impact. And if you guys don't know who they are, go look them up. One half is Bobby Roode, which is Robert Roode now. And the other half is James Storm, who lives probably 10 minutes from me and Steven. We don't know where, but the same town that I live in and the next, well, Steven used to live in the same town. He technically lives 5 minutes from me, but is the next
Whole
town
different
over.
town, people.
Yeah. These guys, first of all, their entrance music was the shit. And
Yes.
you knew it was them. As soon as that music hit, I mean, a lot of people, when their music hits is who it is, but it was pretty iconic then. And the way they worked together in the ring was iconic. Not to mention, obviously, it's in the title of their name, Beer Money. They like to drink beer, which, by the way, me and Steven also like to consume alcoholic beverages.
That's the lead
at
into
times.
their song, by the way.
Yeah. If we could get the audio to work right on our platform here that we use, this would have been better. Just because we could have played.
Well, we're working on it. We're working on it when we do. Well, we're going to eventually do themes, and once we figure out the audio, then the themes will be amazing.
What do you think about Beer Money?
Dude, I love Beer Money. So they were just outside my top 10.
They were your honorable mentions. I had
They
two.
were my honorable mention.
I do have two honorable mentions. We might throw those up later if we have enough.
I have
time.
like 5.
I actually had more, but I've limited it to 2.
But they were right there in there. How can you beat them riding down on a motorized cooler? And FYI, I believe, and Justin, you can check me, 6-time TNA tag champs.
Yeah.
They were awesome. And they both went on in their own promotion, which was TNA. They both went on to win the TNA World Heavyweight title multiple times too. So amazing
quick
singles
question.
after they were done.
Quick question for you. Better singles wrestler, Rude or Storm? Just a food for thought there.
I'd go Storm.
I'd go Storm too. I just like him better.
Consistent. It's cowboy, dude.
That's it.
Consistently great.
That's it. Yeah, that's my number 10, dude. It's weird that I put them in there because I look at my list and I don't have a lot of non-WWE/WCW tag teams. To be honest,
I purposely tried to figure that out.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And I almost threw another one in, but I won't give it away. But
I love that pick, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, literally right there. I love that pick.
Yeah. All right. You ready for your 10?
Hit my music. Okay, so we love to hate these guys. Love to hate them. It's the Good Brothers / Gallows and Anderson.
Honorable mention for me.
What can you say? It was a huge freaking deal when they showed up in WWE. The way they broke on, what they did to the Usos when they first came on, and then they were completely misused, obviously.
Yep.
Members of the Bullet Club, my number one faction of all time. Amazing. I mean, and they've won it in different areas. I think they're, They are 1-time Impact because they're current. They are 2-time, I believe, WWE and 3-time New Japan. They're everywhere.
They've been all over the world, dude.
And they are strictly a tag team. They're not great on their own. They're just not. But they are an amazing tag team, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're great. What I like about them, like you said, where you named it, is they've been everywhere. A lot of these tag teams that we're probably going to mention have kind of stayed in one place or ventured a little bit. Not like them. They've won all over the world, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not the most exciting to me tag team.
Yeah.
But they fit together so well to make them a tag. The smartest thing they ever did was probably become a tag team, because there's no way those guys would go on. Some of these people that we're going to name in these tag teams have, or at least for me, some of mine, if they have dismembered themselves from the tag team, have went on to good singles careers.
Beer Money.
Yeah, Beer Money.
Beer Money went on to great single careers in TNA.
Exactly.
These guys, not so. I mean, maybe Carl Anderson has done a little bit more.
Yeah.
Than Doc Gallows has. It's like you said. I think they're low. They're lower on my list, as great as they are, but also they're not well known because the bulk of what they did has been New Japan. That's where they are renowned. You know, that's where they are like mythical, essentially.
All right, hit my music. Change our banner to number 9 there, Steven.
I thought you were doing that because I'm trying not to see yours.
I know, but all right, people. This one might come as a shock too, but my number 9 is the Usos.
Honorable mention.
You might be able to put them higher than I have them, or you might not have them in your top 10. The reason I have them is 7-time tag team champions. Not been around forever, a while. I don't even know how long they've been in the WWE, but I say that the family they come from helps them, but they don't need that. They don't need to say, "Oh, I'm the Wild Samoan are Rikishi's kids. I'm kin to The Rock. I'm kin to Roman Reigns." They don't need that. They are so good in the ring.
Umaga.
Yeah, they are so good in the ring, and they're good on the mic. Both of them. I think. Who's better on the mic? That's a good question. I would say Jimmy is probably better on the mic. But
they're both not bad on the mic.
I was struggling. I actually had somebody else at number 9, and I switched them about a half hour before we started tonight and moved them. I don't want to say who because we're only on number 9, but I think just pure what they've done in the amount of time, how many titles they've won, and cohesiveness with the tag team. Plus, I like them now. When they first came out, they were like Samoans doing their chant, and all that. And now they're just badasses now.
Well, that's when they moved over to day one-ish.
Yeah.
Like they got super serious. They heel turn. Heel turn's great for all of them, apparently.
And that's the thing. They can play both, too. They can play face and heel well. I like them better as heels, though. Honestly.
I don't hate that. That's not a bad pick. They didn't make my list. I'll tell you, they didn't make mine. They were outside. I mean, literally, I'm looking at my list. I think I had 5 honorable mentions.
Yeah, I think I had
5.
4.
I think I named 15, and some of them are just right outside.
Yeah.
So I don't hate that pick. That's not bad, man. I'll take that.
You ready? Number 9?
I'm ready, dude. Hit it. Okay, so my number 9 is going to be a touch different.
Oh, God.
Just a skadoosh.
Oh, God.
My number 9, the Brothers of Destruction.
Okay. They're not in mine, but
they're not what you would call a normal tag team. And they never won the titles. Not that I'm aware of. Justin, if I'm wrong, drop it in there. Tell me, man. But it was so cool. And they were so big. And to hear Taker talk about it.
Yeah.
They had to break them up because they basically burned through the entire tag team roster because no one could beat them. I mean, is there anything in my mind almost as iconic as when they were tagging against Kai and Tai? And Taker was trying to show Kane, little brother, how to do the last ride. and Kane threw Taka Michinoku over his head. And then Taker came in. He was like, no. You got to lift. You got to lift. And like showed him how to do it. And then when he did it, he was like, good job. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Like they were just, it was like burn bright, burn fast. You couldn't keep it together. But I mean, I enjoyed the hell out of when the Brothers of Destruction were around.
First of all, those are two probably of the most iconic characters in WWE ever. And to pair them up, I think was smart at the time that they did it. They needed it. And honestly, if they would have stayed, who in reality, who could have beat them? You know what I mean? Like
Justin popped it. They were tag champs twice and WCW champs once. That must have been when they tried to bring WCW back.
Yeah.
Oof.
I like it though. They won titles at least. At least you pick somebody that won a damn title. I don't know what else to say about those dudes except for one, they were great together, and two, they had a great storyline when they were singles. You know what I mean? When they were singles competitors with each other, and they were fine without each other. They stood the test of time.
And we'll eventually do like the top 10 debuts. Kane's spoiler alert, Kane's like top 3 of all time. How they debuted him.
Yeah.
I mean, Kane's the mayor of Knoxville, which is in our great state of Tennessee, which is utterly frightening.
Yes, he is. Old Glenn Jacobs.
Do you know, side note, do you know at a rally for him, they played Kane's theme music? Somebody played it on their phone in the crowd, and he just was like,
that's pretty freaking cool.
All right, you ready for your number 8?
Yeah, hit my music. All right, people. Everybody listening, that is listening, my number 8 is Harlem Heat.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Harlem Heat. Is that your number 8 too?
No, it's not my number 8.
No.
Listen, I'm not going to lie too. I have a bank of tag teams in case we cross over sometimes.
Yeah.
If I feel comfortable.
I'm going to go ahead and say that Harlem Heat is in Steven's top 10 somewhere.
It's a fair guess. Maybe. Maybe not.
Now, were both of these guys successful after they split? One was very successful. The five time. What's going on, Brandon? Appreciate you getting on here, brother.
Really quickly, not to interrupt you, Brandon. Great episode of Titletown the other night. Great episode.
It was really
y'all,
good.
If y'all don't watch it, go watch it.
Titletown Lounge. Yeah, great Packers podcast. Booker T was great solo, but honestly, I liked him better when he was with Stevie in the Harlem Heat. I don't know why. I mean it was both good, right? He played, and he could play both heel and face well. I just really liked. We talked about this about tag teams in WCW, and we both said Harlem Heat, and then we both sat there like, name another one, and we had to think. There are some,
yeah,
but the first one that clicks in your mind is Harlem Heat, or at least in mine and your mind is Harlem Heat. I mean, the entrance music, the moves they did, they were both big dudes. They worked good together. I don't think Stevie Ray was as good as Booker T in the ring, but
no, I mean that's obvious by what happened, what transcended, for Booker T after.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think I could put a top 10 together, at least in my eyes, without having them in there.
I like it. I won't say if they're on my list or not, but for those who have listened and watched long enough, you probably do know the answer to that.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. So that because you're not speaking of them right now means that they're going to be somewhere down the line.
Well, like I said, I have a bank, but there are certain people that I cannot replace.
Yeah. Let's go. We're moving through this quickly, which is great. But I'll switch it over to Are you ready? Are you ready for your number 8 now?
I am, man.
All right, let me hit your music. There you go.
Okay, my number 8, you guys. Change the game. Okay.
Oh, fuck. Like it's all about the game and how you play it?
No, not that game. Change the way tag team was perceived in the promotion they were in. Changed the way that tag teams performed, and changed where they were at on the card. Not only that, but both members went on to, in my opinion, we've had conversations on this, Hall of Fame level careers.
Okay.
It's simple. It's Edge and Christian. You know, it's they changed the way tag teams performed. They just did, and literally they both went on to have solid career. Edge went on to a Hall of Fame career. Christian went on, and he's a TNA Hall of Famer. He's an Impact Hall of Famer. He's performing at probably one of the best levels he's ever performed at in AEW right now. And he performed at a decent level, had a title run in WWE. I mean, WWE-wise, he doesn't touch or sniff Edge.
I hate the fact that you did this because they're my number 7. I'm just going to tell you now. So we'll get my number 7 out of the way. I didn't want to switch because I got a method to my madness.
Okay.
But you are correct in everything you said. Also, Christian is 47 years old right now and is in peak physical condition. He looks shredded. Just as good now as he did 20 years ago.
Probably performing at a higher level.
I think he probably is, Steven, because he doesn't have to wrestle as much. You know,
dude, he's he's marquee right now.
He was literally the main event of the pay-per-view 2 weeks ago.
It was a great main event.
And it was a great main event. But to do what he's done, had an injury, same thing. I don't know who's had a better career. We talked about this before. Edge is a Hall of Famer for a reason. He was forced to retire, never thought he was going to wrestle again. If that didn't happen to him, Christian will not be in the WWE Hall of Fame, I don't think, because now he missed his chance, I think. I don't know. I'm saying that. He might be. Something might happen down the road. But who would you take? If you were to take a wrestler, and this is throwing tag teams. I know we're talking tag teams because you are correct. They started it all as far as how tag teams act, how just everything about that, for me at least.
Not to interrupt you, but if you watch like on Peacock and you watch the behind the scenes thing, like they said their goal was to when they came into WWE, tag team was like down here, and their goal was to raise the level and have Vince understand tags could be a draw because he doesn't think they are. He still doesn't. That's why as we go through this, you don't see a lot of current tag teams on our list. Their goal was to steal the show every single time. And in my opinion, is there anything more iconic than the TLC matches that they participated in for the tag titles?
Right.
Any of them. Pick one.
Yeah. And again, after they split, they both went on to. I think Edge obviously had a better career in WWE with the amount of titles that he won. But both of them, and then Edge is another thing, man. Coming back after he was gone for what was it? Was it 11 years?
9
years.
Well, we didn't realize, Christian was
gone for like 7. So
he just stopped. Edge was forced to retire in his prime. Christian was not really necessarily in what you would call. I mean, he's prime right now, but he wasn't in what you would call his prime.
He's prime at 47.
It's like Punk. Punk retired or walked away in his prime, and Edge did that. And all he's done is, I mean, if you made me choose between the two of them, because I know you floated that out there, I really like Christian, what he's doing right now, but I'm a huge Edge fan. So I would go Edge.
Yeah.
more than
I would
likely.
too.
Like I love Rated R Superstar. I love where he's at now. Which FYI, huge question marks. We're hearing rumors, and I would love if you're in here. You guys say it's got nothing to do with the list, but we're hearing stuff about the fact that there's possibility that was his last match.
Mm-hmm.
That he may actually be retiring at this point.
I hope not, but we'll see. Since that was my number 7, Steven, and we've already talked about them for 10 minutes, go ahead and you tell me when you're ready for your number 7, and I'm just going to hit your music now. How about that?
Okay. So people were disappointed in me, I think. The people who love our turnbuckle times. But we did the factions. Because I have a handful of favorite current wrestlers. I have a handful of favorite wrestlers of all time. Everyone knows by now, if you listen to this, everyone knows who some of those are. And when we did the factions, one of them did not make the list. It shocked Adam. I think it shocked some people. They make the list for me this time. For me, it's the Hart Foundation. Hall of Famers.
Mm-hmm.
You know how good they were together, because now let's sit down and let's think about this for a second. Is that how great was Bret Hart? Just scale of 1 to 10, singles wrestler.
Probably top 10 for me.
Top 10, top 5 for me, maybe. Just because I love Bret Hart, but amazing wrestler, right? Multiple world title reigns, multiple intercontinental, amazing single wrestler. They were so good as a tag team. Vince was super hesitant to split them up because of how good they were. He just, I think, and that's kudos to Vince with this, obviously, is he knew that Bret's star was bigger than what he was with, but the Hart Foundation was amazing. And I want to make sure I'm clarifying too. This is the Hart Foundation, Neidhart, and Bret Hart. That's who I'm talking about. I'm not talking about kind of down the line when Owen came in, the British Bulldog was around.
You're talking about the Anvil. You're talking about the Anvil. Jim the Anvil.
Yeah, Neidhart. Jim the Anvil, baby.
Natty's dad.
Natty's dad. God rest his soul.
Interesting.
But I'm talking about the tag team, not the faction, but they are 100% in my top.
They are not in my top 10.
I'm not surprised.
I liked them. Probably not as much as you. I liked Bret Hart more when he was by himself as a singles competitor. But I do not hate your pick. I don't hate that for a number 7 pick. Yeah. You are right though. Like they were just different, man. I don't know. It was just a different kind of.
Well, you had just technical wrestler in Bret Hart. You had
the powerhouse,
and then the look. Yeah. Let's not dismiss the look of the black and hot pink tights, and then with Neidhart the goatee. Like it was cool. Hart with the glasses, the leather. I mean, I could have an entire episode talking about Bret Hart. I love Bret Hart.
We might do that one day. We might do a wrestler spotlight.
Oh,
go over the career of certain people. That might be a good thing for us to do.
I love me some Bret Hart. But that's my number 7. You ready for your number 6?
Hit my music.
You said that.
Okay, guys. My number 6, I believe. It's a current tag team.
Whoa.
They have been all over. And I think right now are the
I think I know who it is.
Top tag team in wrestling today.
We've talked about this.
It's the Young Bucks. Tell me right now, Steven, that another tag team that compares to them right now in wrestling. That has the look, that can sell, that can wrestle, that can play heel and face, that are dependable in the ring to not get hurt. You know what I mean? Like, just everything about them, their mic skills. A lot of people might not like the Young Bucks and some people might not know who they are. If you watch AEW, you know. If you watch New Japan, you know.
Ring of Honor.
I knew who they were, before AEW, and I didn't even watch them. Like, never did I watch them, and I knew who they were.
Yeah. Well, we said it. They were until AEW. They were the greatest tag team of all time that no one had ever seen.
Exactly,
because they were 100% indie.
Exactly.
You asked me a question
Mm-hmm.
about who could possibly compare to them currently. They're not on my list, but they are one of the few current ones that were close.
You're gonna say FTR?
Yeah, I was going to go FTR is great on the mic, technical. They're not as good on the mic as the Young Bucks.
They are a true tag team too, man.
I don't know how they would play face. They're great heels.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would play as face.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pretty dependable when it comes to the injuries. Obviously, the Wheeler injury sticks in your head right away because it's so recent.
Yeah, but that
would be one that's similar.
Yeah, his injury, though, wasn't due to – that was a freak thing, like, by himself. Like, it wasn't caused by another
you put
wrestler.
It out. They covered up that now. They've covered that up in AEW.
Yes.
Really quickly, I don't want to stomp on yours, but I want to clarify for everybody, too. When we went – and we should have done this at the jump. First of all, subscribe. We always do it in the middle, okay? Mm-hmm. If you're liking this, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button somewhere on the screen. Mm-hmm. But I want to clarify. When we talked about this list, this is true tag teams. We're not talking ones that were tossed together just because. So, I mean, we're not talking. I mean, I hate to say it, you guys, and we're not talking like R-rated RK Bro, right? We're not talking ones like that. We're talking true tag teams. I just want to clarify.
They might have split up and come back. Split, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But ones that weren't just like two superstars and they tossed them together to see what happened. Like you'll notice on this list so far, most of them are true tag. The Young Bucks, when you talk about them, they could never be separated. They couldn't. They've wrestled together for like 20 years. They could never go separate and go solo. It wouldn't be right. They wouldn't look right.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you could probably go higher with them if you wanted to. You could go lower. Some people might not have them in their top 10. I thought for me, it was doing them injustice by not putting those guys in. For everything they do, helping start AEW, helping run AEW as EVPs. Finally they lost the belts to, a team that we didn't think would do well doing that. Still don't really know, obviously, until we see how. And
also that match. A lot of people have now said it's probably the greatest tag team cage match of all time. And the Wrestling Observer gave it 5.5 out of 6 stars. Yeah. They called it the match of the year.
Yeah.
And that's the Lucha Brothers too that are in there. Penta El Cerro and Phoenix. But that's the Young Bucks too. That's a lot of the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
So I got no issue with that pick at all.
All right. You ready for your number 6?
Hit me with it.
Let me hit your music, man. Delete.
My number 6, the Hearty Boys.
Okay.
So, when you talk about tag teams too, like we joked, I was trying to think of them today, and suddenly there was a run of about 3 or 4 that it's like once you mentioned one,
you start
there
thinking
were several more that had to go with them in that pair, and then you really start thinking about it and going, man, I mean, the Hearty Boys, like Edge and Christian, but kind of to another level. I mean, let's be honest. When we talked earlier and said the iconic thing with tag teams, you easily think of that TLC match, but what do you think of? There's 2 moments in those matches. Like I think of Swanton Bomb off of a 10-foot ladder.
Yeah.
And I think of the spear from the top of the ladder on Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, too. There's a reason why they're still performing. There's a reason why you don't see a whole lot of wrestlers who leave the promotion, go to other ones, and Vince wants to bring them back. And not only bring them back, but bring them back in a big way. When they came back at WrestleMania, that's one of the coolest returns of all time. It made your list. when we did that.
Oh yeah.
They were amazing. I mean, I can tell you right now, as a kid, you wanted to see them. You like even when they were kind of like the Brood, and they had Lita. I mean, they were so cool.
That I was just gonna say, if there's one word to describe them, it's cool. Like they, especially when they added Lita, dude. That was
Team Extreme, man.
Dude, and Jeff Hardy, God bless him, has done some crazy shit over the years to his body. Yeah, dude, that's a great pick. I'm just gonna tell you, they are in my top 10. they're a little higher. They're a little higher for me.
We try our best to not copy each other. We don't even, just so y'all know, legitimately, we do not talk about this beforehand. We make our list. We don't discuss.
We literally work together every day.
So we talk. We don't discuss the list. So
we talk about what we're gonna do, but we don't talk about our lists.
But crossover is natural. We try our best to not do it, but when you get near the top, like it's gonna be interesting.
It is. But hit my music because I'm ready for my number 5. Okay. So my number 5 is the Steiner brothers.
I like it.
I actually had them lower, and then I thought about it. Before, Scott Steiner was Big Papa Pump, and now that has a caved-in chest.
Big bad booty daddy. Damn
near died twice, I think. Name a time when the Frankensteiner, a.k.a. the Hurricane Rana, kind of, I guess. Name another person of his size that could do that.
And it was a finisher for him.
And it was a finisher. When they were together, they were like the All-American Michigan, come out in freaking Michigan Letterman jackets. You know, Rick Steiner wore the freaking headgear.
To the day he stopped wrestling.
I mean, literally to the day he stopped wrestling. They were exciting to me. Scott Steiner was huge back then. He got ridiculous after he went to Big Papa Pump.
He had that luscious mullet too.
He did. And it was just, they were really good technical wrestlers for how big they were. Not to mention pure tag team. Now, Scott went on to have a better career, obviously, in singles competition. Rick Steiner, not so much. But they made their money together. They got over. I don't remember them, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember them being a heel a lot. I mainly
never
remember
when they were tagged. Yeah. Scott was when he went single.
Yeah.
100%.
When they were tagging, I don't remember it a lot. But if they were, I much rather prefer them as a face.
Fun fact: Rick Steiner almost broke Buff Backwell's neck.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Well, and when you talk about iconic too, they have tried to redo that. If you think about it, American Alpha.
Yeah,
they were like the college, like the singlets, like let's do this. Like they have tried to recreate the Steiner brothers.
Which you brought them up. I don't mind them. I think people hate them. I don't mind them. I love what they've done with Otis. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't like Gable.
I'm a big fan. You know me. I like Otis.
Yeah, I don't like Gable as much, but anyway,
he's okay.
That's my 5, man. The old Steiner brothers.
Okay. I don't hate it. They're not on my list. I love when they're not on my list.
Good. You ready for your number 5? You may hit your music.
Hit it, man. So we're just going to jump right to it really quickly. It's Harlem Heat.
Okay.
It's, they're higher on my list than yours. Obviously, I'm a WCW guy. I love WCW. They were the greatest WCW tag team. They're Hall of Fame. They produced, and a lot of, when you look at tag teams too, there's a lot of times that a great tag team produces one great person out of it. I mean, they're not a great tag team, but like the Rockers produced Shawn Michaels, right?
Mhm.
You know, there's a lot of times that's where it goes. There's rare times that it does something like, you know, we're not mentioning them in here, but like the Shield, where they produce all these people, or the Bullet Club, where they produce all these people. Like that's just, it's not always the same. It's not always doable.
Right.
Really quickly in the middle of this, we've had a lot of people suddenly jump in. If you are in here now, give us your top 10 list. Drop it in the comments, okay? But no, I mean they're the great, in my opinion, probably the greatest WCW tag team of all time. I mean, in sentence, and they were
like we said though, Steven. We said when we started saying name a WCW tag team, the first thing that me and you both said was Harlem Heat,
right?
And we couldn't.
Let's not get it turned around, and let's not get lost in the fact that they were also ahead of their time and a little bit of a revolutionary in regards to a tag team. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Let's put it out there. Wrestling back in the day, WCW down in the South, did not tend to put titles on African American wrestlers, and they were the face of the tag division. They were ahead of their time. It would have been interesting to see them nowadays, but they were so good that you couldn't deny that.
Real quick, Rondo shouts out a comment, Hearty Boys better be number one or we sue. Well, Hearty Boys already came in for Steven.
Hey, man. Rondo, it is what it is, man.
They have not came in for me yet.
They came in already for me, Rondo, but I will give you a quick shout out. Make sure you guys check out Rondo's podcast, Colts Beat. It's great. Yeah. It's great stuff, man.
So you are right. I didn't think about that, but both being African American in that time was a huge deal for somebody to hold just a championship. And also something that came out of that. I know they're tag teams. Booker T is a 2-time Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
From Harlem Heat and Solo. So some of these people are, you can say that.
Don't get twisted around with that. Is that there are a lot of times that great wrestlers come out of a tag team. Doesn't mean the tag team's a Hall of Fame tag team.
Yeah. Does not mean that. Where are we at? Number 5?
We're at number 4, man.
We're
actually pacing really, really well tonight, man.
Sometimes we don't, but that's okay. All right. Hit my music, man. Number 4.
I'm not looking.
Sorry, Rondo. I got them at number 4. And hopefully when you see my top 3, you'll know why. Maybe not, but again, there's not much else we can say about them because Steven and I kind of talked about them when Steven picked them. But just Team Extreme, what they did in the tag team division as far as how crazy they were with the shit they did, going back to, I mean, I remember when Jeff Hardy climbed on top of the freaking stage, on top of like the boards where the freaking entrance music, and they come out. Sorry, Rondo, brother.
Rondo says, now we riot.
But Jeff Hardy doing a swanton off the top of that through a table. I mean, my memories more for the Hardy Boys include Jeff Hardy than Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
Just because Jeff Hardy was more of the risk taker, daredevil kind of guy. But just a badass tag team, dude. And I know Matt Hardy's in AEW, but I think they'll go in one day. I think they'll go into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Well, and you said it, as we get up here, we can talk about these guys, for a while too, is that I do think they go in. Think about everything Jeff Hardy's been through, and the WWE has supported him. Think about how big and massive he actually was in TNA. It's easy to forget, And yes, Rondo, the Hardy Boys did inspire an entire generation to ignore the "don't try this at home."
Exactly.
Because you wanted to swanton bomb so badly, but I would have broken my neck. But I think they go in. Matt has mentioned the idea that he would love to finish his career wrestling in a tag team with Jeff, but Matt is also very, very happy at AEW right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting. But I think they go. They're too revolutionary to not go in, man. They're like it would be. It would be the equivalent of the fact that they've not put China into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right, get your top four ready. You ready?
I'm ready, man. So when I said that we had a run, when you started thinking of tag teams, and you start with Edge and Christian, that Peters a little bit too, the Hearty Boys, and obviously for me, it ends up the Dudley Boys.
Okay.
I mean, what else can you say? They single-handedly kept ECW pretty cool. They're the reason ECW chants still happened. They split them up. Bully Ray had a run in TNA on his own, but they were never as good apart as they were together. And outside of I'm looking at my list, outside of maybe one of the other ones that are on there, they have one of the most iconic finishers, tag finishers, the 3D, because a lot of these tags you start looking, they don't have a dual, that's what they do, and they did, and there's so much stuff, get the tables.
I was gonna say they made putting people through tables cool.
They put everybody through a table. They put Dixie Carter through a table.
Ray Young at 80 years old through a table.
Trish Stratus.
Women. They put women in general through tables,
didn't care.
bro. They didn't give a shit.
The Dudley Boys were amazing.
And if I'm not mistaken, they've won the most tag team titles. That's my
there you go. Rondo says the Dudley Boys inspired a generation on the physics of breaking a table. Absolutely, man. The tables were their thing. I mean, they were just, I'll
tell you what reminds me of them is they came back, and I don't remember when it was.
Probably 5 or 6 years.
It was Raw. I think it was a Raw event.
Yeah.
And they did some stuff, and then they were going to do the Get the Tables chant. And Bubba hits Devon and says, Devon! And he's like, and then he goes, 1, 2, 3, and the whole place, dude, was like, get the tables. I mean, you could hear that. It's iconic. That's their iconic thing. Get the tables.
Yeah.
Get
100%.
the tables.
100%. So I mean, they're up there for me because they were in the group of those three. They're the last in that group of three, in my opinion, that revolutionized at that point in time and made the tag division must watch.
Okay. I 100% agree with that. Hit my music. All right, guys. So my number 3 is, you know why I agree with that, Steven? Because they are my number 3 tag team.
Okay, really quickly, if we have time at the end, I think we should touch on some of the honorable mentions that didn't make the list, because I think those will be different too.
Yeah, they will. I've got a really good one in an honorable mention. People that won't, I don't even know if you'd think of them. Nothing much to say on the Dudley Boys because we already covered it, but I just think, one, they, like Rondo said, they revolutionized a way to use tables in a match. Their iconic finisher. They stuck together. When they were together, they were great. When they were separate, not so. I think Bully Ray was okay in TNA or Impact, whatever part
he did better than Devon on his own.
I just go back to when Bubba was Bully Ray and he was somehow married to Brooke Hogan and just fucking weird. But
I think they
were
together, by the way.
He's married to Velvet Sky.
He is now, but I think at the time he was actually with Brooke Hogan for a little bit.
Which Velvet Sky? Hey.
Well done, Bully.
Well done.
Busted Open
how the
podcast.
Fuck you
great podcast.
That is a great podcast.
They don't need our publicity.
No free shout outs. just iconic. That's all I can think about when I talk about them is iconic. Oh,
Yeah.
Rondo. Hey, Rondo. Real quick, Rondo put in, are y'all counting Kane and Undertaker as a tag team? Hey, if you would have jumped in a little earlier, Steven had them in here. I don't remember what number you had. What number did you have?
I think they were number 9.
9, 8, somewhere in there. He did have them Brothers of Destruction as a tag team. So
They were number 9.
He did.
Brothers of Destruction, baby.
What else is there to say about the Dudley Boys except, dude, I think they've won like it's something crazy, like 16 or I think it might be 20.
You know who knows?
I know, Justin. I'm
Justin.
talking total though over all promotions. I think they've won like 20 something, dude.
It's insane.
Tag team titles.
It's insane.
All right, you ready for your number 3?
I am.
I guess you want me to hit your music?
Hit it. So I had them higher. It's a repeat. It's the Young Bucks.
Wow.
They, like you said, they were, until AEW, they were the greatest tag team that no one had ever heard of. They won titles everywhere they were. They can be they were face basically their entire career. Mm-hmm. But they are amazing heels. Like I've talked about it in my recaps. I couldn't wait for them to lose. I was tired of it because there was that cheat to win thing, and they were so great at it. But they're just, for me, they are probably one of the epitomes of a tag team because you could never separate the two. First of all, they're brothers,
right?
But you could never separate the two, and it wouldn't work. And they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
They don't need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously they're EVP, so it will never happen. They will forever be linked as a tag team as the Young Bucks. So they're number 3.
That's why I said greatest tag team currently to me in all promotions.
Yeah.
I'd put them against
they probably
anybody.
Are.
I'd put them against anybody right now, dude. I just right now I love even you know what's funny? Speaking of this, not to go down a rabbit hole. I know we're getting close here, but not to go down a rabbit hole. But what I love about AEW is that I catch myself rooting for heels more than I do for faces.
Well,
not maybe in total, but I root, WWE 9 times out of 10, you're going to root for the face, right? Mm-hmm. Personally. But I catch myself on AEW, like everybody knows, I'm wearing the fucking hat right now, baby. This is a WWE.
You were not alone in that on Dynamite.
I know. I mean, he's my dude. Everybody that listens to this knows that Adam Cole is my dude. And he's a heel. He's with the Elite, with the Young Bucks, with Kenny Omega. Now, when Kenny Omega was fighting Christian, I was rooting for Christian. We knew he wasn't going to win. He wasn't going to beat Kenny Omega. But I just find it funny that a lot of times, Miro for you. Miro's a heel.
Miro's a heel. Malachi Black's a heel.
Exactly.
They do a great job. They do it. Britt Baker. It's super easy to forget. Britt Baker is most definitely a heel, but everybody loves Britt Baker.
Real quick, shout out 25 tag titles the Dudley Boys have
Holy
won.
Shit. Okay, maybe they should have been number 1.
Yeah, Justin put his top 10 in here. We don't need to forget to go.
Yeah, Justin, we'll pop that at the end, man.
Yeah. So, dude, I don't care that you put them there. I actually think that's a good spot. I had them a little bit lower, but you can't argue with what those guys have done on an independent circuit, being in the indies and now what they've done. So, All right, number 2.
Okay.
So, I had trouble with this. Had some real trouble. But my number 2 is the Road Warriors, a.k.a. Legion of Doom, however you remember them. But when those dudes come out, and they had the freaking shoulder pads with spikes on, dude, the crowd loved them.
God, what a rush!
When you heard that, did you not just get fired the hell up? Like it's not as much as like the Hulk Hogan theme for me or the Adam Cole theme for me. But when you heard that, it was like, oh shit, here we go. They're about to destroy somebody. Not to mention their finisher was freaking awesome. It wasn't anything special, but off the top rope. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I don't know what to say. They won titles. They went everywhere too. You know, they were over a lot of promotions. And they were, I would say, in the 80s and 90s, the most over tag team there was.
100%. Face paint, everything. I mean, dude, let's be honest. So that, you know, Animal's son played for Ohio State, right? For those who don't follow football, Animal's son played middle linebacker for Ohio State. And Animal, you would be in the crowd, and the camera would constantly be on him.
Yep.
And they would do segments where his son would wear like the spiked shoulder pad. It was a huge deal for people who grew up in that time to be like, holy crap, you know, there's Animal. Yep. I mean, the face paint, everything. I love them. That is a great spot for them.
Is it, Steven?
It's not where I have them.
It's because you have them numero uno. That's okay. We already knew that, but
yeah, my number 2 might surprise you.
All right, I'm hitting the music.
So you hit it before I had a chance to type.
It's okay.
So my number 2, we talked about them, and it could be slightly controversial. I don't know where people sit with this one. But my number 2 is the New Age Outlaws.
Holy shit balls.
There you go. See, slightly controversial. I actually got Adam to curse. Can you believe that, you guys?
They're not. I cuss all the time. They are not even my honorable mention.
Something about them, man.
I'm not gonna. I am shocked more
era,
than disagreeing with it. I'm more shocked that you have them.
In the Attitude Era, there was no tag team that was more over than the New Age Outlaws.
I agree with that.
None whatsoever. Nowhere close to it. Their theme music, we've joked, their theme music was Road Dogg talking.
Yeah. Cut the music.
Road Dogg, a country white dude with dreadlocks, whose finisher, he would hump them and then pump handle slam them. The other half of them was Mr. Ass.
Yeah, badass Billy Gunn.
Neither one could get a real push after they split up. They were just, for a kid growing up who liked WCW, but would watch WWE too, it was just, you felt, you kind of felt like a little naughty, for lack of a better word, for like liking them and watching them. Because it was naughty. Like, you know, and they were always the ones just like, we got 2 words for you. Right?
Suck it.
It was just, there was something about them, man. And they were good. They were really good together. So I mean, did you do
this? Did you do that just because you knew I wouldn't do that?
No, I knew they were going to be in my list. I wasn't sure. I knew they were going to be in the top 5. I wasn't sure where they were going to drop until I kind of settled in right before we went live.
Yeah.
But
again, not mad, shocked. Like, holy shit, shocked.
So for those who want to know, mad was when I didn't have the 4 horsemen in the top 5 factions.
Pissed me the
shocked
fuck
was
off.
That I had Bullet Club number 1.
Yeah.
But no, they're my number 2, man. Like it's just, it was like your dirty secret that you liked the New Age Outlaws. Like I said, I like it. Did factions. Them being part of DX was my favorite form of DX.
Like it. All right, let's go. Hit my music.
Wait, fantasy football revamp. Yo, you guys are awesome. Keep it up. Thank you, Vinny.
Thank you, Vinny.
Okay, hit your music.
Hit my music. Steven is not going to be shocked at this, but some of you younger folk are going to be shocked. Steven's going to get up and walk away, and the number 1 tag team of all time is the fucking Rock and Roll Express. Get the hell out of here. Mom, hit the freaking love button right now because I know you're listening. And if I would have put these guys anywhere else in my top 10, my mother would have texted me or came down to Tennessee where I live in Missouri and whipped my ass. Now, let me just a little backstory of the Rock and Roll Express. Steven has known me for 7 years. Steven knows that 100% that this is probably of all time my favorite tag team of all time.
Y'all don't understand. He also considers their finisher one of the best of all time.
The double drop kick. It's the fucking double drop kick.
I don't agree with it, but I completely understand it.
This was not, dude. Right now, there's two different websites. If you just type in top 50 greatest tag teams, I checked 3 just to kind of look through them, and 2 out of the 3 had these guys at number 1. The Road Warriors were number 1 in the other one, and number 2 in the other one. Which, Josh, why is your brother calling you when he knows
he's
we are
watching
going
it?
live?
He's like, what the hell?
Well, by the way, my mom, yes. I don't know why the end is there.
Oh, shout out to your mom. She's figured out how to watch on YouTube.
Thank you, Mom. Mom, since you're there, go ahead and hit the subscribe button.
These are for me, not for you.
Mm-hmm. No, these are 100% for me because I put them at number 1. First of all, let me just tell you why I like that, why I'm in love with them. One, when I was a kid, I used to have my grandma's scarves and I would wear them, or bandanas, and I would try to look like them. My favorite wrestler was Ricky Morton. My grandparents built a wrestling ring for me. I beat the shit out of a teddy bear, and I wanted to be Ricky Morton from the time I was probably, I don't know, my mom can chime in, 2 till now. I'd still want to be Ricky Morton. I don't care if that man's 70 years old and he's a tag team champion with his son in some god-awful promotion. I don't know where he's at. But for me, number 1, Rock and Roll Express. That's how old they look now. They did not look like...
I'll find a better one.
They're so bad right now because they're 70 years old. But, dude, they won all over the world. They were more known in NWA, and they were the Smoky Mountain Tag Team Champions. I remember them from that. Their entrance music was horrible. It was like some kind of old-ass country music song. I'm talking old country.
There you go, Adam.
Thank you. Give me the 80s Rock and Roll Express. So I would wear shit like that, dude. Like my grandma's scarves, I would do that with. And you can't deny how technical they were in the ring. You can't say that, Steven. Those guys were, in that generation, the most technical tag team there was. You can't name another one in the 70s and 80s that were like them. And they were
one that's still winning titles.
And they were cool as hell. End of story. End of story. They're not in Steven's top 10. They're probably not even an honorable mention. Screw you.
It's nothing. I 100% understand why they're there for you. I do.
Yep.
They are like your childhood, man. And I mean, they performed at like the Armory locally to us, and you were trying to find tickets. Like there was a flyer on a pole that said they were going to be performing.
It was an email from the Murray County.
How much do you think it cost?
It was an email from the Murray County Chamber of Commerce.
I think you can get 2 tickets for $5.
It was $12.50.
But I understand, man. I mean, I'm not gonna pee on your head and tell you that this is a bad choice. It's your guys.
Hold on real quick. My mom said she has pictures and she is posting them tomorrow. So I will put them on Twitter as well. Because
Screw that. Send them to me. Y'all go follow us on Instagram. We'll put them on the Turnbuckle Times podcast Instagram page.
We will do that. That will happen. All right. Go ahead and pop your number 1 up because we already know who it is.
My number 1.
I'm not even going to hit the music because we already knew.
Legion of Doom.
Totally agree with it. I
mean, for me, they were so iconic, man. And really, it was the shoulder pads, it was the face paint, it was the fact that they basically beat people before they got to the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and they did nothing apart. They could do nothing apart. God rest their souls. They're both passed away at this point.
Do you remember when they've tried to put Heidenreich with freaking Animal to make them the new Legion of Doom?
Yeah, well, it was what was his name? He's paralyzed.
Huh?
Puke. What was his name, dude? Draws.
Oh yeah.
They put Draws. What's the wrestlers that I'm spacing on their name right now? Who they tried to kind of redo it, paint their faces. They were in NXT. I can't remember their names.
No, I don't remember.
They're dead and buried. Like they're horrible. But they tried to redo it like that. They tried to recreate them, and you can't.
You can't. That's
Dude,
not gonna happen.
The SummerSlam where they came out on the motorcycles.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. It's one of the best entrances of all time.
Mm-hmm.
They're up there for me. They are right there.
All right, you ready? You ready for this? I want to give you. I'm just going to mention my honorable mentions. I'm not going to type them. I'm just going to say them. I got 3. I got 1. Is the Good Brothers.
Thank you, Justin. It's the Ascension. The Ascension.
Oh yeah, the Ascension.
Thank you. I could not remember. They're so dead and buried. I forgot who they were.
Are they even in WWE anymore?
Maybe not anymore. They may have got cut.
Okay. 1 is the Good Brothers.
It's a good one.
2 is the Rockers.
That's not bad.
Shawn Michaels went on to have a great career, obviously Hall of Famer.
Yeah, no shit.
Here is my first honorable mention, and it's the Motor City Machine Guns, which is Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley.
Look at you being different.
If you guys don't know who they are, go Google them. Google Motor City Machine Guns and watch their matches in Impact. Badass, dude. Like,
you'll be one of 65,000.
Yeah. Well, this was back when Impact was freaking
Impact.
Was
loaded for a while.
I actually thought about swapping the Usos at my number 9 pick and putting them in there, just because
that would have been interesting.
I didn't. But that was something. I was just kind of scrolling through lists, and I'm like, too obvious. They are great. And then I came across them, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not sure. I watched Impact a lot back in the day when Sting was there and AJ Styles and, all these guys. And those dudes were freaking awesome together, man. And they even done I think Chris Sabin did really well as a singles guy. But that's my 3 honorable mentions. What are yours?
So I got 4. The Usos, obviously, I said they were right outside. FTR would probably be my number 11. They were right there for me. Santana and Ortiz, they've done it across multiple promotions, and they're gunning for the AEW title. For those who don't watch, that's going to be a thing. And then kind of just a toss in like the British Bulldogs.
Yeah, I forgot about them.
The British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, the Dynamite Kid. They're easily forgotten because everyone thinks of the British Bulldog.
Yep.
If you don't know how you get the name, definitely look it up. It's crazy stuff. Like, he copyrighted the name, so Dynamite Kid couldn't use it in other promotions. Like, they had a massive falling out. But the British Bulldogs were really good. They were bigger. Like, you had Davey Boy, who was bigger. You had the Dynamite Kid, who, for all his flaws, he had thousands of them.
Yeah,
he was probably he was way ahead of his time with how he wrestled from the top rope and things like that. So those are my honorable mentions.
I want to do something real quick because we're a little over what.
Well, we want to pop up Justin's, do we not? Yes, there it is.
So Justin's top 10 are popped up. Number 10, Demolition, love it. I actually thought about them as well. Number 9 is the Road Warriors for him. That's weird for me. I figured they'd be a little higher. I don't like it.
As I'm looking as you popped it, it's a good list.
It is a really good list. Number 8's the Steiner brothers. So I had them, Steven didn't. The Usos, I had them, Steven didn't. FTR, neither me or Steven had them, and Justin has them at number 6. I like that a lot, actually. Number 5, the New Age Outlaws. Number 4, the Hearty Boys. 3, Edge and Christian. 2, the Hart Foundation. And 1, the Dudley Boys. So I'm looking at his list, and I'm shocked at 2 things. Actually, 3 things. I'm shocked that the Road Warriors are number 9 and not higher.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that the Hart Foundation is number 2. I figured they'd be a little. I mean, they weren't even in mine. They were in yours. Where were they
I'm
at on
actually
yours?
more shocked that the Usos are at 7.
Yeah, that
and
was
the
my other
FTR are at 5.
Yeah.
Just because they are fantastic tag teams right now.
Mm-hmm.
But like we joked beforehand, like we struggled to find current ones.
Mm-hmm.
You really did.
Mm-hmm.
You struggled. If you look across this, there's an error. There really is.
Yeah.
You know, there's the late 80s, early 90s, and then there is the Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 2 eras because they're just like we said. This was a fun one too, just because we know Vince has said like tag teams aren't a draw. They're not going to bring in money.
Mm-hmm.
Thus why the tag division utterly blows balls inside WWE. AEW, on the other hand, they try to cultivate it. Also, they have one of, in my opinion, the best tag teams of all time. So, okay. We went a little over because this was a little fun, man.
Hit him with the outro.
So, you guys know how we do these things. If you like this, we love you for it. Rate, review, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tweet about it. If you don't like it, Adam, tell them what they can do.
Fuck you. We're out.